Evening. Hi guys, how are you doing? I see only 2 persons are here so far. I'm not sure what has happened to the others. Can I get a verbal response? Tamar, are you able to talk? Renee? It would be good to get a verbal response. Hello? Tamar, you're not able. Renee, you're not able to talk. Why don't you always not talk? I need for you to give me a verbal response. Can anybody give me a verbal response?
Sir, what you said about verbal response?
I was asking for a verbal response.
Sir, my Wi-Fi is out. I'm outside trying to get some Wi-Fi.
Okay. All right, let's wait until one other person joins us. Then we begin. Have you guys started the social media marketing strategy? Which one are you working on, Renee? And Tamara, you can put in the chat the ones that you're working on, because that is going to end up with the assignment. Oh, NCB. Renee, which one are you working on? Let me just check to see which one I've given you guys. What are you working on? All right, I'm gonna probably shift it up a little. Are you guys working together? How far are you guys in completing this, the social media strategy for for the NCB one that I sent? So we don't get good evening again, Adrian. So Adrian can't talk neither, Lord Jesus. So we have 3 students in the class and nobody can talk. Tamara can't talk, Renee can't talk, and no, Adrian can't talk. I'm trying to get you guys to actually communicate with me. So I think we have about 2 more weeks in school. I'm going to discuss digital, probably I need to do content marketing before and then do this. I think, let me just touch on content marketing first. I just need for you guys to kind of respond verbally though, to let me know that you are there. When you are not responding, I feel it feels very strange when I'm not getting any answer at all. It feels very, very strange. In any event, I'm going to touch on content marketing. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So Adrian, you were there all along and decided not to answer?
No, sir, I joined just like 5 minutes now, sir.
Okay. Where are you with the assignment? How far you reach with the assignment?
Not far, sir.
Which one are you doing? Which of the 2 are you doing? Are you hearing me, Adrian? Which of the 2 are you? I know that Tamara and Renee, they're doing NCB.
Tomorrow, I'm ready.
So I'm asking, which one are you doing?
Come in.
Are you hearing me, Adrian?
Yes, sir, I'm hearing you, sir.
I think something is wrong with your mic because I'm not hearing you. So usually you sound a little bit louder.
Or maybe it's the internet, sir. I'm not up there.
Oh yeah, I'm hearing you better now. I'm using my earplugs now. So I'm saying, I know Tamara and Renee, they are doing NCB. Which one are you doing? Remember, there were 2. I think the other one is from Jamaica National, if my memory serves me correct.
It's not Jane with me.
Do you have the document can share?
No, sir.
I sent it via what? Email? Let me find it. What did it come on this? Did I send it via email, guys? I'm trying to remember myself.
Yes, sir.
Okay, social media, advertising. No. Okay. All right, so let's look at content marketing. So it's very important for marketers, especially digital marketers, to have content, digital content that is, and have content that helps them to accomplish different things in the digital space. So you need content, for example, to help with awareness, to raise interest, for consideration, for conversion, and even for brand loyalty. So as I think I'd mentioned before, that in terms of content, and when we were looking at digital ads, it's not that you have to know how to create the ad. You know, you becoming a graphic artist, quote unquote, you don't necessarily have to be able to do that, but you should be able to give directions to, let us say, if you want to say it's your graphic designer or your creative team, as I usually call them, in the Office of Marketing, Media and Communication, I have someone who works as our marketing and communications assistant, and she creates content for us. It's also important for you to understand or to know that content has to be varied, and that the content, your audience should dictate the kind of content that you create, and that the content itself is in keeping with your brand values, your mission and your vision. So we call that to some extent content marketing, and it is the creation or publishing and sharing of content with the aim of building brand reputation, awareness, and affinity. In other words, creating content for marketing purposes has in and of itself its own purposes. It's very important. And it's not just building brand reputation, awareness, and affinity. Sometimes you create content to help people to convert, to, you know, to consider the brand, to raise interest in the brand, or to even keep them as customers or keep them as repeating customers. So that's important to note. The benefits, and these are the various, let's call them purposes or objectives: to grow, recruit, increase, generate, enhance. These are the various benefits of content as you, when you put them out in cyber space. Sorry, I'm just looking at something. Give me one sec. So these are some of the benefits of content marketing. Qualities of effective content: they must be relevant. Relevant meaning that they speak to the nature of your brand. They help you to accomplish your purpose. Very important. Content needs to be very personalized, educational, And education meaning that you're providing them with enough information for them to generate an interest in your brand, or to even consider your brand, or to even engage with your brand as a customer. All right, addresses the needs and interests of the consumers, includes explicit call to actions, very important, and demonstrates that you are a solution. So remember, marketing is about solving the problems of customers in a profitable way. So your content is supposed to be doing that. Two main groupings of content, topical and evergreen. Evergreen meaning that evergreen content is content that you can use over and over and over. So an example of that would be, let me just show you, we tend to repeat it almost every year, although we think sometimes we need to upgrade. Let me go on ECC's Facebook page and show you some evergreen content that we use almost every year. Eventually we're going to, make some changes, but for the most part, we use it. And it's always better to use evergreen content versus so let me go to.
Sir, sorry, what is evergreen content?
Content that can be used. So all right, let's go back. Content that can be used it's considered timeless. So let's just explore the definition. Content that is considered timeless. Where's my share? I'm like going to share, but I'm not seeing the share button. Right. So let's look at the definitions first. So evergreen content, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
So it's timeless, meaning that you can use it over and over and over, wider relevancy, and is efficient. Topical means it's time bound or time sensitive. In other words, it is happening in the know. And when it says limited repurposing, in other words, because it is time sensitive, more than likely you can't use it again. You can't repeat the content, or you can't not repeat the content. Well, you can't repeat the content, or you can't reuse the content because it is time sensitive or time bound. All right, newsworthy. News is anything that is, what's the definition I learned at media school again? News is anything that people consider to be relevant today. Because I have a better definition, but I can't remember it now. So topical content are newsworthy content. For example, the shooting that happened, the shootout that happened at Devon House today, that would be considered topical. All right, so topical meaning no, time sensitive. Evergreen meaning content that can be reused, or timeless content that can be used over and over and over and over. And I was trying to show you some examples now, and I want for you to tell me now which content you think is topical and which one is evergreen. All right, so let's look at, yes, I think I clicked at the video. This is research day. Well, this is not really.
So Excelsior Community Colleges virtual.
Let's not look at that one per se, but let's look at this one.
Employees.
Seeing and hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Boost your chance of getting ahead in your career by enrolling at Excelsior Community College. We offer accredited programs in business, nursing, information technology, and hospitality, as well as many vocational and professional programs. Take advantage of our flexible classes, affordable fees, and travel opportunities. Call us today at 928-5070. Excelsior Community College, transforming lives, nurturing global citizens.
Would you say that this is evergreen or topical content?
Evergreen, sir.
Evergreen.
Why is it evergreen if you say it is evergreen?
Because what they were saying, you could use that even years from now.
Right. This is something that you can use over and over, and we use it. We do use it many times. We do use it. Let us say, no, let's not go on to that. Let's look at this one.
Welcome new and returning students to the Excelsior Community College. Let's go on a tour of your school. Whether you want to study business management, the arts, computer science, information technology, nursing or cosmetology, The Office of Registrar is here to guide you from course selection to graduation.
It is indeed a pleasure to welcome you to the Excelsior Community College. Founded in 1974 by our first principal, Mr. Ted Dwyer, a visionary, today we provide a variety of programs that will enable you to achieve and become whatever goals you may have in life. If you want to become an electrician,
is this evergreen or is this time or is this topical?
Sir, I think it's evergreen based on what you're saying in the ad. Can be used years from now. However,
can be used from years from now. Anybody else?
Mission, a lawyer, doctor,
outdated afterward, you know.
Okay. Anybody else? Give me 1 sec. Look at another one. Tell me.
2020 fifth form graduates, take the next step in your education by enrolling at Excelsior Community College, free of cost. In partnership with the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, we will be offering you a 2-year scholarship to pursue an associate degree, CAPE Associate, NCT VET Level 2 skill, or City and Guild certificate of your choice. CXC results pending? Don't delay. Apply online at ecc.edu.jm to secure.
Talk to me, evergreen or topical?
Topical, sir.
Topical.
Yes. Why is it topical?
As I said, well, I pick out the 2020. Let's say 2020.
Okay. So
for your scholarship and
it is
free tablet.
For you
it's
to
for
know,
a time.
Right, it is time sensitive. It is important for you to note. All right, let's look at this one. This is when I was a PR, when I was the PR public relations officer.
We have today Mrs. Naomi Jacobs with us. She is the Vice Principal of Student Affairs, and today we are celebrating Culture Day at Excelsior Community College. So Mrs. Jacobs, the theme is getting youth in line with our culture. What does that mean to a student?
Well, for the students, it would be really understanding and appreciating our Jamaican culture, because I recognize that a lot of the students, the younger folks, they really don't understand the culture, where it is coming from. We look at, for example, the evolution of our music and its impact, dance from then till now, looking at our food, we're looking at our different other art forms, our songs and so that the students can really have an appreciation of the richness of our culture, rather than just being be used to the current. We are making them more aware so that this will be good for their holistic development.
All right, evergreen or topical?
Outside of the academics,
it's really topical though, because this was specific to Culture Day, and this was a specific year. But I suppose they could use it in the, as a way.
One day.
Right, it's Culture Day, you know, a specific day. One of the things that you will learn about if you become a marketing officer or a marketing manager is that whenever you're going to do a campaign, one of the first things you have to do is what is called a content audit, to look exactly at the content that you have in your inventory and to determine if it is topical, evergreen, and what can be reused and what needs to be changed or upgraded. So content marketing is very, very important in the life of a marketer. Very, very important. I'm just going back to the lecture. So topical content is content that ties into a moment in time and as such has a lifespan of relevancy. In other words, a short lifespan. And how to create topical content: choose general themes, consider potential outcomes, resource adequately. Examples of topical content: this is a promotion. Of course, the promotion will not go on forever. All right, for all of you who think the dress is white and gold, come and visit us for an eye test. This was a very good way of how they pull a lot of persons into their store. All right, here's another one. The Coca-Cola Foundation donates $1 million to American Red Cross for Hurricane Harvey relief. Of course, this is very topical. It's done in a moment in time. Evergreen content, no. Long-lasting, converting, and efficient. And converting meaning that you can really use it over and over for different purposes. How to create evergreen content: choose timeless topics, promote on social media, and repurpose at a later date. And it's not necessarily promote on social media, but it can be repurposed at a later date. Examples of evergreen content: how-to articles, tutorials, beginners guides, frequently asked questions, case studies, and all. You know, there are various things, and I just showed you some evergreen ones. This is what is important when you're planning your marketing campaign, and this actually is important for the last topic that I'm going to teach you, because you have to kind of clearly outline that to me in your marketing. If you're going to be your digital marketing plan, is what specific content are you going to use at each stage of the buyer's journey? So awareness: let potential customers know you exist. What kind of content are you going to use at this stage? Captures the audience's attention in terms of interest. Is it, for example, at this stage, you're going to create that just, for example, inform at the awareness stage, and at the interest and consideration stage, you're going to create digital ads that educate. And I'm sure Dr. Howard pointed out the difference between inform and educate. All right. And also know the consideration, further inform customers on what you do, and the retention and conversion, foster warm and personal experience. So in your digital marketing strategy, what content are you going to create at each stage of the buyer's journey? That's very, very critical. All right, because you can't use the same content to achieve the same things. So here they're giving you some examples now. Aligning content to the buyer's journey. At awareness stage, you're going to use images, short form video, social ads, GIFs, advertorials, templates, banner ads, social ads. And banner ad is always about awareness. These are really Google ads. Interests, they're giving you some examples of what you can use at the consideration level. Conversion and retention, and especially for consideration, testimonials are very good, especially if the brand is a higher education institution. Testimonials are very, very important, and we use that a lot when we want to get additional students. We call them customers to come into the school. All right. Today we had anybody went to were you able to attend principal's hour? I know you guys were, but I'm still asking. Anybody was able to listen in to principal's hour?
No, sir.
So today we actually had one of the hosts of Smile Jamaica, CVM at Sunrise rather. She's one of the hosts, but she's a past student of the institution. She did her program in tourism and actually didn't finish her program because when she went on work experience, she was hired. She just never came back. And she worked her way through entertainment, all the way to entertainment, into marketing and into media. So we use her, for example, her story to pull people in because we can pull the video and edit it and put it on social media, but also we use it to retain for the purposes of retention, to ensure that students come back because they can see success in other people. For research day, we had Professor, I don't remember his name, but he was a guest speaker for research day in the morning. Past student of Excelsior, now a professor. He spoke, very interesting, very informative presentation. Again, today I shared an article with the school about Dr. Shara Watson, who spoke about who inspired her to go into chemistry. It was Mrs. Joan McLeod Thomas, one of our lecturers, who inspired her to let her see chemistry in a different way. So we use that now to put it out in the public space for persons to consider brand ECC and also to retain our internal customers who are our students. And an important complement to content marketing, manage customer product or service issues. It's very important, and a lot of persons don't realize that marketing and customer service goes hand in hand, because we can sell a product and sell the services all we want, but if the customer service is not good, then of course you're selling a bad experience and you will not get very good results. An example of the community management, I'm not going to get into all of this, content marketing strategy. Now, this part is important. So the first part is about the content marketing, but also now in terms of a strategy, meaning that you're being far more targeted and you have specific goals, objectives, and all of that. You're looking, for example, at the different segments in the marketplace, determining which segment you're going after and which content will help those segments to convert into customers. So a content strategy is an ever-evolving plan that determines your content marketing goals, target, and objectives. It takes into account your audience, their buying journey, and the formats and style aligned with your wider business. And this goes back to what we were talking about here. This is part of your content strategy, right? What are you showing the customer along the buyer's journey? If you are just trying to get them aware about the brand, or you want to raise an interest in the brand, or you want them to consider the brand, and or you want them to become customers, or you want them to become repeating customers. So a cyclical process, research, very important. One of the things that I do when I'm doing developing the content strategy for Excelsior is that I look at what my competitors are doing. I look exactly at what they're doing. So give you a perfect example. The video I showed you about Excelsior, about 2020 graduates, one of the things that I do, and let me just share a screen and show you, where is it? When I'm on social media, because I know that my competitors are on social media, I like to go here and type in UCC. And I click on UCC, click on their thing. Are you seeing my screen, guys? You're seeing my screen? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right, and then I go here and I scroll through to see what is happening. Oh, so, okay, they're promoting their short courses. We don't, the project management, we offer this program, business administration with a major in information systems management, public speaking, and we say, okay, here now, this is where now we and them are in a tug of war, because they're going after the same segment, which is a free two-year tuition for all 2021 grade 11 students. So this is where we say, okay, they're already in the marketplace. I look at the date. They have been in the marketplace from when? April 29. Today is May 10. So they have an advantage, quote unquote advantage over us. So I go through and I look to see what exactly they're advertising. Notice that they're stressing this one. Then I also go to, when I'm finished here, I usually look at their photos as well, their videos rather, to see which specific videos they're putting up, how the videos look, does it look good? How do their videos look in comparison to ours? And I go through and I see that they have a similar video.
2020 high school graduates across Jamaica, be a part of the Ministry of Education, Youth.
All right, so they have a video, so we have to have a video too,
groundbreaking,
or even have a better video. So I look through, then I leave there and I'll go to UE. or open campus, because open campus is a silent place, you know, that is actually have a lot of students. So I go to open campus and I see what is happening on open campus. They're promoting financial management. So I realize open campus is not going after it's the 2021 graduates, fifth form graduates. They're not going after that segment. So I know UCC is definitely one of my biggest competitor, because we're going after the same segment in the marketplace. We are competing with open campus now for programs that are similar. But the thing is with open campus, they are not very good at digital advertising. They're slowly getting there, but they're not very good at social advertising. For example, this ad has too much information, overcrowded. Most persons are not going to read that. And then, so I usually do that. I click on my competitors' banner ads just to see what they're doing in the marketplace. I love to do that. So I know exactly what you are doing. I will even apply for your program just to see what your process is like, your enrollment process. So I'm going to apply. I'm going to come to your session. The number of information sessions I've gone to. I've applied to UE, CMU. I hope I don't become a student, and UTech for this academic year, because I'm trying to see what their processes are, and especially since we are now advertising or promoting our master's programs. So I want to see what their process is like and what our process is like, and see how best we can ensure that our process is a seamless one. You have to plan, definitely have to plan. You have to come up with a plan, an actual marketing plan, and create and curate, meaning that you have to have somebody who's going to develop the content for you. All right, and you definitely need what is called a brand style guide. Anybody has ever heard about a brand style guide? Has anyone ever heard about a brand style guide?
No, sir.
All right, so a brand style guide is really what we call the rules of engagement in relation to your brand. So in terms of the color scheme, in terms of where they can put your logo, where they can't put the logo, what they can do with the logo, what they can't do with the logo, general things about how they're supposed to treat your brand and your brand assets. All right, publish meaning that the various platforms that you're going to use, whether it be social media or any other platform, whether it be a website or so forth. Measure meaning that you are analyzing your data, the data that is coming back to you from whether it be Facebook, and I'm sure we looked at Google Analytics. So this is where the measurement comes in. And then you strategize, meaning that you're going to use the data given to you to actually do better in the marketplace or to beat your competitor. Very important. So content is very, very, very key. You need to have a very good creative team. The worst thing that you can see in the marketplace is one brand, and every time they put out an ad, it looks different. You know, different shade of red or different shade of blue, and you're wondering, is it the same brand or something like that? If you look at very established brands, their color palettes are very consistent across all platforms. So that is very, very key. So you need a very, very good, what we call creative team. I call them creative team. You have to look at that. Then the other part now, have you ever heard the term social listening? Anybody else? Have you ever been introduced to the term social listening? Ever heard the term social listening?
No, sir.
All right. How many of you guys actually go on Facebook and type how you feel about certain brands? Has anybody ever done that? You have gone on Facebook and typed how you feel about certain brands?
No, sir. I just look at news feeds.
Or you don't comment? Are you afraid to comment?
Sometimes. Well, if it's cricket, I'll comment on cricket.
Oh, you comment on cricket. What about the females? Any of you guys ever commented on Renee, Tamara? Have you ever commented on
Tamara
social
is
media?
texting in the chat, sir. She say, yes, I do.
No, sir.
Okay. Some persons will actually tag the brand and quarrel and say, this is bad, I can't bother with Digicel, or I can't bother with Lime and NCB,
Yes,
them takes so long.
I do that with Digicel, tag them.
Yes.
And any post them make what sound different from what them actually do, with comment on that too.
Right.
I went to Ocean Coral Springs, I never like the service, and I tagged them and commented on Facebook. So I do that.
Right. So when the brands comment, or they don't, put it this way, brands are paying attention to the comments on social media about them. They pay attention to what customers or potential customers have to say about them. It is called social listening. What are you saying about me in cyberspace or on social media platforms? So social listening is the process of monitoring digital media channels to devise a strategy that will better influence customers. Taking information from places that consumers participating online can be invaluable. In other words, wherever your customers are, you need to be there and you need to be finding out how they feel about, you know, your brand, your service, your new product. I see, for example, Amazon Prime, you know, when they're promoting a movie and persons are commenting, they're actually responding to customers, or to what let's call them movie watchers. They comment and they say, like, what do you like about the movie, or what do you think about the movie? Give us a line from the movie or something like that, because they want to keep their audience engaged and they're listening to what their audience, what their customers are saying. If, for example, they put out an advertisement and the advertisement is not very good, I know many brands will pull the ad. Sometimes they will release what they call a teaser, and based on feedback, they say, Lord Jesus, this is not a good one. And they pull it. Sometimes they pull it, don't even put it on the market, any at all. You have many of the movie production companies, they will do that. They'll even change the ending of a movie based on feedback. And I'm sure you have seen instances where, you know, certain movies are being promoted, and because a certain character is quote unquote dies in the movie, and people say, okay, if this person is no longer in it, I'm not going to watch. Suddenly they have been raised from the dead, because brands are listening to customers or to consumers. The benefits of social listening to a content marketing strategy: identify opportunities, yes, and this comes as a part of the whole SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So it identifies opportunities, especially if they're saying that they prefer your brand over another brand, or if they think that this service or product is better than another one. Spot potential risks or threats, and this is where now you call crisis management, where if there are certain things, negative things being said about the brand, you are trying to mitigate those kinds of things. Sometimes they'll say to you, okay, send us a DM so that we can address your concern. All right, understand brand and business position. And this is in relation to your competitor. Where are you in the marketplace? What is your brand equity, especially on social media? All right. Tools you can use for social listening. These are the various tools. Most persons use Hootsuite, but Hootsuite can be quite expensive to use. Competitor analysis, very important. And of course, when you're developing a digital marketing plan, you do have to carry out what is called a competitor analysis. The value of regular competitor monitoring helps spot content gaps for your brand. Yes, it could be that you are not, the content that you put out itself is not closing the loop in terms of the buyer's journey. So there's content about awareness, there's content about conversion, but there's nothing that is educational that really gives the consumer or the customer enough information for them to consider the brand. All right, define the content that works well for your intended audience. Very, very important, because you'll see the level of engagement, whether it be shares, likes, comments, tweets, retweets, whatever it is. Identify innovation in platform usage, negates any clash of content or ideas. What to look for? Content development schedule. Very important that you know you have a schedule in terms of your content development, so that you're not caught off guard, especially like a Mother's Day or a Father's Day, when you're supposed to be running a Mother's Day promotion and you realize that the content is not yet ready, or the content itself is not properly done, you know. So you want to ensure that those things are, you have a content schedule. Customer feedback, very, very important. What are customers saying about your content? Search engine rankings, very important. I think I'd mentioned before that you want to ensure that when you're posting, especially in the copy, where you're talking about the benefits of your brand on social media. And I think we had looked at a post, for example, that you have in it what are called search engine rankings. And let me see if I can bring up an example of that on, I think we should have an example, or I can make an example. So let us say, for example, on social media, and I am going to go to, not switch accounts. All right, so here we are tagged by ECC as a request to co-host this event. What the? Well, I'm not accepting that because I don't know who the hell that is. So this is Georgia military versus Andrew. This is soccer. We don't like, looks like the US. So let me go on ECC's thing. I don't know what the hell that is. I'll check it out tomorrow. What was I discussing again? Oh, search engine, right. So when you're posting, like for example, this event that is happening tomorrow, you guys should go. This is about the work and travel program. In this case, for example, I never actually added in search engine terms because this is just a normal event. This is a topical event, right? That is just discussing work and travel. But let's just say we are posting, for example, something related to a program like this, all right? So you want to ensure that, let me go to a more specific ad, Let's go to a more specific ad. All right, so this ad is
being known globally.
Biggest lesson I've learned, there are going to be challenges, whether coursework, friends, group.
No, let me not, let me see if I can find a very, all right, so let us say, nursing is kind of obvious. All right, like this now, if we're going to post about the Office of Graduate Studies and the information session, virtual information session, because we offer like, so keywords or key terms that you'd use is like MBA, Masters in Business Administration, Masters, things, you use certain key terms that you know people actually search for when they're looking for like a master's degree. So these are the things that persons would possibly type into Google, master's degree in business administration, or master's degree in marketing, master's degree in project management masters. You might say university, master's degree in project management. You type in things like that because you know that's how people search. You include that in what is called the copy. The copy is usually here. It's usually not in the ad once it is on social media. You usually don't necessarily put all the copy in it. All right, you put the headline on the ad itself, but usually the copy is on the is a part of the post, but not embedded in the ad itself. Making sense, people? Everybody's understanding? Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
What you said about not actually being in the ad?
I'm saying sometimes because, so I'm saying about social media, what happens is that, you remember that when we talk about the elements of an ad, right? We talk about the headline, the copy and so forth, and the illustration. Remember, the copy is really the part that really captures like the benefits of the service or the product, right? I'm saying that sometimes what happens is that they don't put the copy as a part of, they don't include the copy in the ad itself, in the digital ad itself. They put it as a part of the post, the social media post, instead of putting it on the ad. But the important thing to note is that ensure that the benefits actually capture the keywords that customers use to search for goods and services online. That is the important thing. So when you are developing your content, that is also very important. Even for your web page, that is very important that you consider search engine optimization, keywords, and you have like long keywords, short keywords, but those things are for another time when you have moved on and gone on to further things in terms of digital marketing. So again, TweakDeck can help you. There are many ways of how you can see what your competitors are up to, as I had showed you before, in terms of clicking on their own ads, calling them, engaging them online. I do that a lot too. So I will actually say to UTech on Facebook, I've applied for a program, but I'm not getting any response. See how quickly they respond. So I'm looking at their response time, things like that. They're telling you about TweakDeck now. TweakDeck helps brands to check on what their competitors are doing. All right. I don't really use TweakDeck because we don't really tweet. We don't use Twitter as one of our major advertising platforms. So these are just various platforms that you can use. The content audit, which is what I was saying to you before, is that you have to look at the content that you have and make a determination whether or not it is evergreen or topical, and do you need new content. So it says content performance versus targets. It's very important for you to look at how the content that you have used before performed. Did it bring about a lot of engagement and things like that? One of the things that I have realized as the digital marketing person for ECC is that video-based ads get far more engagement than print or static ads, quote unquote, static ads. That's very, 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 very important. And especially this part about improve and optimize. It's very important that you look at content. Oh yes, remember too that when we were looking at Google Analytics, right? There's also the whole notion of page views. Does anybody remember the definition of page views? What do you mean by page views? Quickly Google for me.
Who view the page.
Say that again.
The amount of persons who actually view the landing page.
So, all right. So the number of persons who view a web page, right?
Yes.
So don't say amount. You use the word amount with things that cannot be counted.
Okay.
So the number. So remember now when you're looking at web analytics, you can also make a determination about the content that the user that a user engages more with on your web page or on each web page. Anybody remembers the term?
Repeat, sir.
So remember too that when we're looking at Google Analytics, right? We also came across a term that spoke to the fact that you can also make a determination about what content on your web page got the most engagement.
Sir, is it the unique? Sir, let me think.
Check your notes.
Was it the sessions?
What is the sessions? Remind me about the sessions.
Sessions. Isn't it what you just said? The number of engagements on our web page. No, I lie. Sessions would be that. Sessions.
Check your notes.
Hold on.
Anybody found it? Anybody found it? What is the meaning of the term events in Google Analytics? Anybody found it? What's the meaning of the term events in terms of Google Analytics?
That the user interactions with the content.
Right. So we're talking about events, right? So that's yes. Go ahead.
You're talking about the clicks, video interaction.
I didn't hear you so clearly.
Certain things like the clicks.
Right. So the clicks.
Video.
So whether they download, whether they download, they click, they comment, they share. So events give you an idea about the content that is most engaging. So this is why they say what improve and optimize, because what you should do is to remove content that is not engaging, especially if that was a purpose. Fair enough? And that has to be a part of your content audit. How to conduct a content audit, key performance indicators and objectives review, establish benchmarks going forward, content inventory forms and types, meaning that you're checking what is in your inventory, whether you have videos, you have whether your video is actually animation, motion, whether it be a kind of movie type of thing, whether you're using print advertising. You just have to look at the content that you have. Content audience segments, meaning that for the different segments, what kind of content are you using to engage them along the buyer's journey? Website performance and user experience. We talked about this in terms of Google Analytics, because of course we have to look at the events. Social platform review, meaning that the platforms that you're using, are they the best ones to accomplish the particular objective that you have in mind? We talked about tone, language and tone evolvement. Of course, you have to ensure that the tone, remember, we talk about the tone of the brand. Is it informational, engaging, chic, whatever it is that the tone of the brand is. And social listening, we talked about that, brands are on different social media platforms where their customers are trying to engage them and listening to how they are talking about them. All right, monthly content reports. Well, I don't necessarily use a monthly content reports, but it could be important. I usually look at the content in terms of the end of each leg of the buyer's journey. So if the content was about awareness, you look at the analytics to see if there's a lot of engagement and so forth. So this is the planning part now, all right? And this is where this is the buyer's journey, quote unquote, types of content marketing goals, awareness, engagement, affinity, conversion, advocacy, meaning that there are persons who are strong advocates of your brand, and they will actually go out, they become somewhat brand ambassadors for you. So aligning content marketing goals to business goals, very important. Content goals, an example, Groove Headquarters, behind the scenes, how we built a $5 million year business in 3 years with content marketing. We're pulling back the curtain on 3 years of intensive learning and doing. All right. So buyer's persona, remember we spoke about the buyer persona, that you're really talking about your segment. You're talking about the person or the demographic or the geographic. So a buyer persona is an imaginary character based on research and data that represents your target audience. And we talked about it. We might say, this is Michelle. She is, I think, did we look at an example of buyer persona? I think we did.
No, sir.
Okay, let's just look at one. I'm sure we did, but if you say we didn't, let's look at one. Let's go back to here. This might not be the best. Come on. Why is this thing not sharing? That's what I wanted to do. Going back to the same example, let's look at the buyer personas, or buyer persona that they are appealing to for the fiber optic. So the primary, this is the buyer persona. So Julius is a middle-aged, 40 to 50. He has 3 jobs, married, father of 3 children. Julius is the sole breadwinner in his household and is always seeking the best for less. He enjoys streaming football and basketball on his TV, as well as enjoys reading the news, while his kids enjoy surfing the internet. So he wants the fastest internet and cable service he can get at a reasonable price. In the future, he just wants to sit back and watch his favorite TV shows. Sounds like the target, the person you're going after in the marketplace. This is just an ideal, as it says, an imaginary person. So if you were to choose an ideal customer, this would be the person. That is what we mean by buyer's persona. And sometimes persons have what are called secondary buyer persona. Buyer's persona persons who are in their 20s to 30s who also want fiber optic internet to do their assignments. But of course, some of them can't afford it, so they really go to their parents. And this is partly why he is saying that his primary persona is somebody who is middle-aged, 40 to 50. Well, I don't know that the person necessarily needs to be this old, because I know that young professionals too would want this. So probably even from age 30. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm going back to the lecture. I'm just trying to get this thing to get off my screen. So buyer personas, their purpose in the context of content marketing, targeting, writing is focused on topics of interest. In other words, you're posting things that are relevant to them. Format informs how customers consume content, very important. Do they like to watch watch music videos, or do they let's not say music videos. Do they like to watch videos that are less than 30 seconds long? Do they prefer print ads? Do they want something where they can kind of do a question and answer, that kind of thing? And again, this of course is based on research that was commented on before. Considerations to make when developing customer personas, objectives, location speak to geography, job details speak to, it's somewhat lifestyle, because if you're going after somebody who's a professional, then there's a different way of how you target them. The platforms that these persons use, the devices that these persons use, their purchasing behavior, where do they shop? Do they buy one time? Do they, for example, buy in bulk? Are they reliable customers? Things like that. What are their interests? Do they like to watch movies? As was said before in the example I showed you, one of the things that was nicely said in the bias persona for the 40 to 50-year-old is that the person likes what sports, and they also want to protect the interests of their children, their sons and daughters or even grandchildren. They want to also be streaming movies and all of that on their phone, especially now during a pandemic. All right, so it makes sense to go after that quote unquote buyer persona. Understanding their behaviors, needs, and preferences. So Jane, these are examples of buyer persona. Jane, single, works hard and parties harder, likes to treat herself, sporty, lives in the city, Instagrammer. What kind of, let me see if you're thinking, what kind of product or service could we sell Jane based on this profile?
Probably an iPhone.
Probably, yes, an iPhone. All right, because she wants to take quality photos. What about Brad? Brad, living with partner, career driven, ambitious, likes fine foods, tweets a lot, city liver, tablet user. What kind of product or service can we offer him?
Tablet.
Well, he's a tablet user.
So obvious, but yeah. And next, food. Probably selling experiences like with a hotel.
Right. So I would sell him experiences. I would sell him experiences. Living with partner, so he's a family person. Well, never said they're married, but living with partner could mean many things. They could even be gay. Our partner says, never say man or woman. So but I agree though that I would sell this person an experience, whether it be, for example, a family trip, going to the river or wherever, beach trip or whatever it is. He could sell Brad. What about Tom? Single, just graduated, seeking first job, keen to travel, music lover, lives rural, PC user, which means personal computer, and uses forums. What product or service could we sell, Tom?
Maybe a car. Car loan.
Just graduated, where am I get money from to buy a car?
He look old still, him look on him beard. Probably he's a big man just graduated.
Person looks old. Okay. Kind of look old for real because his head is shined.
And him have gray beard.
And he has beard. So probably a car. What kind of car would it be?
Single. Probably a Honda Accord.
All right. I hear one person talking. What is up with the other person? Natisha and Moisha, Adrian, how everybody just get silent so? I don't understand. Why don't you get so silent?
Listening, sir.
Yeah, but me know why you just listen more, you participate.
Sir, I would have said them one of them Toyota Vitz, the small one.
I've never seen an old person driving one of those. I've actually never seen somebody driving, an old person driving one. I mostly see females driving the Toyota Vitz. I could be wrong, but I mostly see
mean,
females.
sir. So him look mean. Yes, price.
Okay, so this is a mean person, so we probably want to give him one of those cars. All right, when you create your own thing, you know, you have to create your buyer persona. So I will see. All right, so use research to develop content topics. Very, very important. You know, you have to be paying attention to where the market is going. Let me show you something. They call it Google Planner. Oh, yeah, I know it. Google Keyword Planner. All right. All right, so let's look at this example. Where is it? There it is. All right, so this is Google Keyword Planner. Usually get ideas. Let's go to Google Keyword Planner. Tell me if you're still seeing my screen. Usually this is where you go and then you type in, got it. Discover new keywords. All right, so enter products or service related to your business. So usually I would say, are you seeing my screen, people?
Yes, sir.
Jamaica. All right, so education. Which, all right, let me just copy from up here then. ECC dot. Let's see what they give me here. Paste, get results. So I'm in the education business. I am seeing keywords. Well, people are not typing, they're typing online school, college. No, but these are low. Competition, the competition is low. So when the competition is low, it means that you can use those keywords. But usually, good colleges, no, I don't. Tertiary education college, colleges for teaching degree, no. All right, let me type in something else. I think I know. Let me not type in. Add another keyword. Let's say business degree and see what comes up. Business degree, nursing degree. Let's see, bachelor's degree in business. Get results. Get me some results, man. Let's see. All right. So they are telling you the top of page, this is the amount of money I probably would have to spend. Competition is low, meaning that this is a good keyword to use, but of course this is too broad. I don't want to get too technical. Broad meaning that when it's one word, it's too broad because anybody can type in education, but you want something, the longer it is, the better it is for you. So Bachelor of Business Administration is low, so this might be a better one, but of course it's a little bit expensive. associate degree in nursing, business management. This one is one of the topical ones. So Google Keyword Planner gives you a sense of some of the keywords. Another thing that you can do if you want to, about keywords, you can just type in business, let's say business degree. And it tells you, so one of the schools that is coming up high is what? UE. And I think you're supposed to be able to put an asterisk. I'll say it again, if my memory serves me correct. No, let me say in Jamaica, because my laptop sometimes still is still reading Canada. All right, so UCC comes up. UCC is very topical. Mona School of Business, UCC, Mona School of Business. All right, we come up, but with the third, UTech is fourth. These are anybody knows BNB? So mine comes up. These are different universities, but I'm just telling you that these are some of the considerations that you have to take in mind when you are developing content. You have to do keyword searches to see what specific terms or words or phrases are trending in the marketplace. And that's really a whole different topic, because search engine optimization is a whole different topic unto itself. Search trends, this is what I was doing a while ago, and audience insight. Generate content topics using a variety of tools and techniques. So all of this is part of the planning stage, in terms of brainstorming and all of that. So content calendars are a central document for mapping out social media content across platforms, days and times, and objectives for a given period. I actually think I have an example of this. Let me show you an example of this. Where did I put it? Where did I save this thing now? I actually have an example of this. Can share with you guys. It's a matter of where did I put it? No, that's not it. Content calendar, it's actually something that you guys need to see. The only thing is, where the hell did I save it? I want you guys to see this because it actually, it helps you to hold whomever you're working with accountable in terms of what they're supposed to do and when they're supposed to do it, and not giving you excuses when they should have done what they're supposed to do. I'm trying to find it. It's not here. Is this it? This is a social media strategic plan. This is not what I want. Oh, it's something like this. No, but this is social media. It doesn't tell you this just tells you the platform. All right, this is somewhat like it, but it's not fully it. I know I have one, but I don't know where I stored it. All right, so are you seeing this, guys? You're seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Right, so here they're telling you what is going to go on Twitter. This is their blog. This is a social media platform. This is LinkedIn, and they're kind of giving you an idea. 2 to 3 hours are per week. The action, the frequency, the metric, the time. There is one now that tells you the content. Some of them tell you the content. I'm not seeing it here. This is not really what I wanted to show you, but I kind of wanted to give you an idea. Oh, here they're telling you, for example, up here, content types, photographs, expert articles, video testimonials, member reminders, mailers. And I think some of them actually tell you which content to use. Like, for example, here, page content on Facebook, there's articles, blog posts, reminders, discounts, etc. So it's somewhat this, but this is not exactly what I'm trying to show you. I have to locate it. But all of this, and let me say this, I know it might seem a little bit overwhelming, but just remember that if you're working at a company, you're not supposed to be the only one responsible for marketing. You usually have a team of persons. So you have the creative team, you have persons who are responsible for different things. So don't think that this is something where you and you alone will be called upon to be measuring and creating content and developing content schedule and all of that. Usually You have other persons who assist in the process. What you're supposed to be aiming for is to be the manager, and the manager sets out the objective and the vision. That's really what I do for ECC, and then the marketing officer executes. So don't see it as being a bit overwhelming, because it is not as if you would be the only person responsible for doing these things. It's usually a team effort. So it's mapped out social media content across platforms, days, times, and objectives for a given period. All right, and of course, the benefits, of course, is it prevents writer's block, stay on track, and focus on alignment. Those are clear and obvious benefits. Elements of a content calendar: copy, creative, theme, date and time, and platform. Very, very important. The copy is really what we remember. We talked about the copy. So in the elements of an ad, we spoke about the headline as well as the copy, and the copy really captures the features. The creative is whether or not it is a video or a blog or whatever it is. The theme, generally, there's a kind of focus whether or not the campaign is called Ready, Set, Go campaign for whatever. The date and time, you know, the date and time, and the platform is whether it is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. All right, so creating a quick and easy content calendar. Plan for the month, quarter, or year. All right, create a simple spreadsheet with column headings. Populate it with as much detail as possible and edit and amend as required. Very important. Things to consider: business priorities, other marketing activities, sponsorship activities, in-store promotions, time of year. And this is, of course, if you're dealing with e-commerce business. Here's an example, a sample of a calendar, and they're giving you the date. So here are the different headings. So they give you all these different things that are here: Monday, Tuesday, what you're going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is just an example. This is week 1 and week 2. So they're using a spreadsheet or Excel file to do that. Usually all people do is just to download a template and just populate it, that's all. Stakeholders to consider: in-house teams, marketing, sales, PR, legal. Very important. Legal is important because you don't want to put out content that can cause the business to be sued, or content that, or any marketing activity that can actually raise questions about copyright, infringement, and things like that. All right. Spokespersons and communication team. In other words, they should be aware of what you are putting out in the marketplace, because they are now going to be the face of the organization in terms of radio interviews, television interviews, and all of that. All right, or even newspaper interviews. So they need to know what you're putting out to ensure that there's a consistent response throughout the marketplace. Creative teams, we spoke about creative teams, as I said to you before, that if you're the marketing manager, you work with a creative team. So copywriters are the persons who write the actual ad itself, the advertisement itself. You have graphic designers, you know the graphic designers, and the media, whether the media, remember the media is no longer just CVM and TVJ in our case, but you also now have owned media, as in your website, as well as social media. And then of course you have management to whom you're accountable for. So content management systems. A content management system, a perfect example of a content management system. Have you ever heard about WordPress? That they used to develop websites? Have you ever heard about WordPress?
Yes, sir.
And MailChimp?
Yeah. Long time I don't hear about MailChimp though.
Yes, MailChimp is still very much in use. So when it says a content management system, it says it's a web application designed to make it easy for non-technical users to add, edit, and manage content on a website. And a perfect example of one that we have, we now use, under my supervision, we use primarily, let me go graduation. We use WordPress a lot because it's easier to manipulate, and you can edit content quickly, update, as opposed to when it was just coding, which was difficult. So this is, for example, the award ceremony webpage. This ad looks a little bit fuzzy. I need to tell them to take it down. It's very easy to manipulate, very, very easy. And are you guys on the award ceremonies list? Do you know? Anybody knows if you're on the list for award? Where everybody gets silent.
No,
All right, so let's look. The name should be there.
Sir, what you say?
And which school are you in?
Business.
You're all in Sobes, right? So this is the Chairman's Award. Look to see if you see your names. Chairman's Award. All right. Let's go to the, no, I shouldn't stop sharing. Oh, Jesus. Why did I do that? Not Chairman's Award. Let's go back now to Principal's Award. School of Sobes, School of Business and Entrepreneurial Studies. Look to see if you see your names. So this is an example of a content management system. And let's go to the certificate of merit. So this is over here. It should be a very long list. It is a very long list.
Sir, this site was recently made.
Yeah.
Okay.
From last year graduation, before the last graduation. I supervised the development of it. What the hell is this in the middle? So you didn't know about this site?
No, I didn't know. I got it in my email. I got something in my email. There was a list, but I didn't know that there was a site.
Okay. All right, so we're going to pause here for today. When we come back on Wednesday, I need to see at least the first draft of your final assignment, okay?
Okay.
I have another class at 7. I'm so tired.
Sir, you did send a rubric?
I'll send the rubric.
All right.
Sir, how much must be in a group?
No more than 3.
3, 2, 1?
Yes, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Did I get everybody's assignment from the last class? For the last assignment, I should say.
Well, you got mine.
All right, so I take it that I got everybody else's because no one is saying anything.
Okay.
All right, enjoy the rest of your week until I see you on Wednesday. Bye, everybody. Oh, I didn't clean that I should have done.